He was folding the only 50 yuan in cash over and over again, stuffing it into his tattered shoes. Today was 19-year-old Malik's first time in prison. With no relatives or friends, he planned to use the 50 yuan to protect himself in prison. However, during the prison check, the guard quickly confiscated the money and threw his worn-out shoes into the trash can. Since no one outside would send him money, the prison guard arranged for him to operate a sewing machine. Malik had thought he would serve his 6-year sentence smoothly. Trouble soon found him. One prisoner wanted to exchange his own slippers for Malik's shoes. Malik, of course, didn't want to do that, but he was immediately knocked down by 2 others. After losing his sneakers, he found that all the prisoners around were looking at him. He knew that if he didn't fight back now, more people would bully him, but he was outnumbered. He wanted to save face, but was beaten up again by the 2. Just as Malik had expected, another group came to cause trouble the next day. This time, it was the Corsican gang leader in prison, Izzy. Izzy told him that it would be very difficult for him to survive in prison without protection, and the condition for getting protection was that he had to kill someone for Luciani. Malik wouldn't even think about killing someone. Before he could refuse, Luciani threatened him. This wasn't a minor squabble. It was a matter of life and death. Back in his cell, Malik was in a state of great confusion. After much thought, pressed the button to call the guard, intending to report the matter to the warden. But after waiting for a long time, instead of the warden, he was met by guards bribed by the Corsican gang and men from Luciani's gang. After being threatened again, Malik realized he had no choice. Luciani wanted to kill the Arab, Rebbe, who was about to identify his boss in court. There were still 10 days until the trial, and Rebbe was being held in the B section of the Arab gang, making it difficult for Luciani's men to carry out the act. Malik, who is half Arab and had spoken to Rebbe in the bathroom, was considered the most suitable person to carry out the task. Because Rebbe was very vigilant, Luciani's men taught Malik how to hide a blade in his mouth. During the day, he would take the initiative to talk to Rebbe and befriend him. At night, he kept practicing hiding the blade in his mouth. The next day, in the sewing room, Malik saw 2 prisoners fighting. After a moment's hesitation, he joined in, hoping to be put in solitary confinement for the conflict and thus prevent Luciani from having to do it himself. But Luciani had seen through this little trick long ago. After many practices, Malik had become proficient in using the blade. The day of the mission finally arrived. With a determined look, he walked towards Rebbe. Once inside the room, Rebbe immediately frisked him to ensure his safety before allowing him to sit down. Malik tried not to speak as the blade was in his mouth. Rebbe noticed that Malik had been staring at the books on the shelf and encouraged him to sign up for the prison study class to acquire knowledge. But blood was already trickling from Malik's mouth. He had to complete the task. He knew that if he failed to do so, it might be his own life at stake. Looking at Rebbe lying on the ground, Malik was extremely frightened, but he had to face his fear. He got up and put the washed blade into Rebbe's hand. The day after the mission was accomplished, Luciani's men brought Malik a package of snacks, indicating that he had successfully obtained asylum.